Well, as you've been hearing, US President Barack Obama has warned that America faces a day of reckoning against the backdrop of the country's financial crisis. In a speech to Congress, President Obama also said that the US would emerge from the crisis stronger as a nation. So joining us now to talk about this from Canberra is Joe Trippi, a well-known US media consultant and the author of The Revolution Will Not Be Televised. And in Sydney, we're joined by Professor Simon Jackman, a visiting professor at the US Studies Centre in Sydney and Professor of Politics at California's Stanford University. Good morning and welcome to you both.
Good morning to you.
Joe, if I can start with you first, I guess this speech was as much to the wider public as it was specifically also to the Republicans there in Congress. Who does Barack Obama need to persuade and need to comfort more, do you think?
Both. I think the real thing that he needs to do, his real forte, is to get people to mobilize for his agenda. If he can do that, that'll put pressure on the Republicans to join in passing his agenda, not just this economic stimulus package, but many others that will need to come on the economy if we're to achieve what he wants to achieve, which is to get the deficit down, but get the nation on a better economic footing and therefore influencing the world's economic footing as well.
Professor Jackman, did Barack Obama sell that message well?
Yeah, I thought so. I thought it was another terrific speech from Barack Obama. We've become accustomed to terrific speeches from Barack Obama. This was another one that had a real hail the conquering hero quality to it as he entered the Congress. Republicans that had only weeks ago been opposed to his stimulus package had to get up on their feet and applaud a man who just 4 years ago was in the Illinois State Senate. It's a really remarkable set of circumstances that America and Obama finds himself in at the moment. And I thought he played up this opportunity perfectly. It was a pitch-perfect speech.
Professor Jackman, I can see that you're still absolutely starstruck by the fact that Barack Obama has won the presidency, but getting down to tin tacks, he faces an extraordinary challenge here, and all the bold rhetoric in the world won't turn around a financial crisis in the US that is in fact leading the rest and developing the rest of the world's financial crisis unless he can bring about some major change. What did you hear in that speech that indicated to you a new direction was going to be taken compared to very similar speeches given by virtually every other recent US president?
I actually think the speech he gave reminds me of, I haven't heard as bold a speech, and I wasn't alive when Lyndon Johnson was making the Great Society appeal to the American Congress. Or I think you'd probably have to reach back to FDR or maybe John Kennedy to find a new president coming to the Congress and making such an impassioned plea for a state-building exercise. Ronald Reagan came with big ideas, but they were not state-building ideas. Bill Clinton came with lofty rhetoric in his first addresses to the Congress. But this, I think, is really at another level, reminiscent, like I said, of those great state-building enterprises that Lyndon Johnson led the United States on, if not taking us right back to the New Deal. I think that's the level that Obama is reaching for. He's nothing if not ambitious, and I think the times call for great ambition. There seems to be consensus in American public opinion for that, and Obama is carrying that message into the Congress. I think he's going to get what he wants, frankly.
Joe Trippi, before we talk about whether he'll get what he wants, the Washington Post today is saying or arguing that there are signs, according to its correspondent, that the demands of the president's very ambitious agenda have already overwhelmed the economic team that's been assembled at the White House. What's your view of that?
You know, the economic crisis, again, wasn't Obama's making, but I do think that, you know, again, his bold agenda that he argued for yesterday is one of challenging the people. And again, I agree, reminiscent of FDR or John F. Kennedy, you have to have somebody who can rally the American people to this challenge. Not just the economic experts. That's not where this is going to get solved. It's going to be solved on the street with working people and the American people themselves. And you have to have a president who's going to be able to achieve that, and that's what Obama's best at. So I think, though it wasn't of his making, he may be the right person at the right time to lead America and the world out of this economic crisis that, again, was not of his making, but he will be the one that will have to challenge the American people to solve it.
But Joe Trippi, he had great difficulty trying to persuade Republicans to get on board with the last stimulus package. If he has any bolder or braver moves to make, given he could only get 3 Republican votes last time, what do you see as being different now that means that he might be able to persuade more of them next time?
Well, I think what's going to happen here is it's a different kind of presidency. This is a presidency with a direct appeal to the people and connected over the internet and other new means to connect directly between. The president's never had a direct conversation, direct connection to the American people, which I think means that you're going to literally see members of Congress, particularly Republicans, if they continue this obstruction, to find themselves between Barack and a hard place. They're going to find themselves between a president and millions of people agitating and activating against them, urging them to pass the president's agenda. That's what I think he was trying to achieve in the State of the Union address, to activate those millions of Americans out there to go to their congressman, go to their senator, and say, pass this agenda or go. And that's where I think the Republicans are going to find themselves as an opposition party in a very bad position if they continue this obstruction.
Joe Trippi, Professor Jackman, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.